Welcome back to Messages from Earth. This is a podcast that was created during the quarantine in 2020. These are 27 individual phone calls that were made asking the same question to everyone and put together in a way that made this feel as if we're all in one space, we're all connected during this time of self-isolation. Some of the phone calls do sound like someone is calling from space, so just listen in closely. Today's question is, do you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
Definitely an introvert. Yeah, but sometimes I can go on the extrovert side. Some part of us are introvert and another part of us is extrovert. Because of music, I've tried to socialize a bit more.
Well, according to the Myers-Briggs test, I'm an ENFJ, so I'm supposed to be an extrovert, but I don't know if I am, because I like lots of quiet time and alone time, but I also enjoy spending time in good company with people I connect with, so I'm not really sure what I am. I think we've spoken about this once before, and we came to the conclusion that I'm an introverted extrovert or an extroverted introvert, one of the two. But I don't think I'm just a straight-up extrovert for sure, and I don't think I'm an introvert either. So maybe I'm just somewhere in the middle.
This is such an interesting question because I feel like a lot of different people that know me will probably think different. I think like Kendrick said it best on his song, I'm like the most introverted extrovert. Like I would say I am extroverted, or it's either that or I would put it the other way and say I'm a very social introvert. Yeah, I think that makes more sense. I think I'm a very sociable introvert, but really I'm more in than out. You know, I'm more focused on the internal than the external, I would say. I never get energy from being around people. No. It's a lot for me sometimes, I think. It's a lot for me. Which is why this quarantine, I'm great. I'm chilling. I don't have to make up no excuse. I don't have to make up no excuse not to see anyone. No one can see me anyway. I think people that know me well would understand what I'm saying, but other people might be like, I wouldn't expect that because, like, you can't tell. You know, I'll still be in that social situation, but internally I'm like, get me home. But, like, you would never be able to tell.
So I definitely consider myself an introvert. I can be pretty talkative for an introvert. I tend to need space to myself to be able to process my own emotions and feelings. I need that quiet away from other people's energies and emotions to hear myself think. And I get pretty grumpy if I have to spend too much time around people without getting little quiet moments alone.
I'm an outrovert, man. I'm out here, man. Nah, I don't know. It depends, man. Like, I feel like I can genuinely talk to anyone. I'm open to new people and new things to come into my life, but, like, my relationships are so deep rooted that it's like the conversation level is just like caviar, man. You know, it's a high standard.
I would say I'm an introverted extrovert. If I like someone, I think they're cool, I'll start being very like loud and quite talkative and quite, you know, engaging in a conversation. Whereas if I kind of have this vibe from other people or a group of people that they're probably not going to understand my wavelength, then I guess I'd kind of clam up a little bit and just be quiet. And then everyone would obviously read into, oh, this person's quiet. She's obviously very quiet. I'm just like, I'm not quiet, just not very vocal around you. So that's how I would probably describe.
I think of myself as an introvert. I don't know if anybody else would call me like that, but I don't like crowded places, and my social battery is always really low. So I think, I would call myself an introvert, and I don't like to go out every day and stuff like that. I just like being alone in my apartment, and
I think I'm an extrovert, but I live an introvert lifestyle currently.
I think I'm an introvert, but now I'm okay with that. I once viewed that as a negative thing. I think I found it difficult to express myself, without looking or sounding forced.
Oh, ambivert. I'd say both.
extremely both. Like sometimes I just like get with it and I just start talking to hundreds of people and then be fine, but then sometimes I'm like, I don't want to speak to anybody. Or like cave myself in.
Good question. I'll probably say both. It's interesting because I did a personality test a few months back and it said I'm an extrovert, which I feel like it'll come as a surprise to a lot of people because people know me to be quite calm and chilled. I'll probably say both, maybe leaning more towards extrovert, only because even though I'm quite like calm and I'm not really someone to be like, I don't like project my voice. I'm not loud, but that doesn't mean that like I'm not confident to do certain things. Because I know so many people who are very loud and like bubbly and they know how to project their voice, but that doesn't mean that they're confident at all.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
And vice versa as well. People who are not loud can be very confident as well. Do you get me? So I can be both at times, but probably leaning more towards extrovert.
Extrovert, definitely, I think. I talk a lot and I'm like, I would consider myself somewhat a social butterfly, especially if I'm around groups of people that are very interesting. So you can like pull me anyway and I would at least find one person that I can have like a deep conversation with.
I don't know, because a lot of people, like I have different, I don't want to say different personalities, but I guess different ways that I act around different people and different groups, if you get what I mean. Like I've got my church friends, then I've also got my school friends, and there's a whole lot of different groups, and I've learned so that I should never mix those two groups.
I think I'm definitely like an extroverted person. Like I really like people and speak with people and like, yeah. I like to hang out with friends and like, yeah.
Definitely an introvert, but I'm also like an extreme ambivert. So I really enjoy socializing, but just not too often. Like I would need to, like a full day of talking to people, I'd need to sleep for about 12 hours. So like, I really enjoy it. It's just that rather than it giving me energy, I can feel like all of my energy slowly going, like the more I do it.
Naturally, I'm quite an extrovert, but I would say that I've been taught throughout my life to be an introvert. Especially as a kid, I would always go and make friends and talk to strangers, basically. I know that's terrible and probably panic attack for any parents. I think it's almost a societal thing to be an introvert. Like, people stay indoors, don't you? You prefer to stay indoors, blah, 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 blah. Or at least in my experience, that's mainly what's taught.
An introvert, very much so, with extrovert tendencies. And I think that more comes from having a very big family, learning to cope with that growing up, always having to be in some sort of family event.
I would say I'm more of an introvert, to be honest. But I do have my moments when I'm an extrovert. So when I'm going out with friends and it's good, having good laughs and stuff. So I do tend to come out of my shell.
Deeply introverted. So much. I have problems with crowds over a person. I remember one time I came to an event where it was like you have to do this event. And if you don't do it, you're out of the fraternity. And I walked in and there was like wall to wall people. You could barely breathe.
Yeah.
And I looked around and I was like, I just cannot bring myself to do this. And if it means I'm out, I'm out. And I left. It was like, I can't. And everyone was shouting and I was like, oh no, this is my nightmare.
I'd say a bit of both, but probably more an extrovert. It's like situational, like, yes, based on the situation that I'm in, I guess.
Extroverted.
Mm-hmm.
But then I could seem like an introvert sometimes, but I do get a lot of energy from people. So when I'm around people, I get like energized, and that's what introvert and extroversion, like, it's all about. It's about where you get your energy from. And I feel for me, when I'm around people, I just get energized and I'm ready.
I think I would say I'm an introvert. I like to socialize, but at my own time. I prefer to just be on my own.
introvert, I think. For me, I like to be surrounded with people.
I have a suspicion that the majority of people in this world are actually somewhere in the middle. I see that in a lot of things, like everyone else looks at the world in black and white and fails to realise there is that whole grey scale between the black and the white. I'm an ambivert who sways a bit more towards the introverted side in terms of, yeah, I do need more time to recharge than others might do, but spending time with people is very important to me.
Oh, in that case, I think I'm probably the first one then.
Introvert.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like being around people, but there's times where I just want to be by myself. Like, I like my own company.
I'm in my head a bit more than when I was younger, but still, even when you put me in an environment of strangers or other people, always one of the first few people to try to get involved and just try to have a laugh. So I'll say I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle.
Okay.
I've got both introverted and extroverted qualities, but maybe I lean more on the extroverted side.
Definitely a bit of both. In some situations, I'm introvert and some extrovert. I can be very extroverted and sometimes very introverted, so I really can't tell actually. People in the party can be like super talkative, energetic, and sometimes they're just completely closed off from everyone and I guess it depends on the day and the mood as well.
Thank you so much for listening in. I hope you've enjoyed hearing everyone's messages. And if you do have any questions, the podcast has an Instagram at Messages from Earth. And to keep posted on the following episodes, feel free to subscribe. And yeah, until next time, take care, stay safe. Bye.